What's up, guys? This is week 3 of the Curran Kaden show. We're going to start off by recapping these week 2 games. So starting it off, Alabama with a weird game against USF, a game they should have been able to run away with very early, but it actually went into kind of early in the fourth quarter until Alabama kind of looked like Alabama. Curran, what do you think about the game, Alabama fan?
Yeah, what was it? It's like 14 to 13 at halftime, all the way up into the fourth quarter. Then
Yeah.
Alabama just steamrolled at the end, like they usually do. They're always a second half team. Go in the locker room, get that speech in, and ball out. But it happened last year. But
To the same team.
yeah,
I mean, but
we did it
still.
again this year, so yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. It was like, I mean, the first half USF looked like a actual defense and was actually giving pressure to Jalen Milroe, which I think if Alabama, I mean, I'm sure they'll recover from it, but it wasn't very it didn't look very good for DeBoer and Alabama to be playing USF that close and have that many mistakes, and also that many flags. There's so many flags in that game. I know they got called back a few times for some big plays, but I mean, I don't know. I just think Alabama playing Wisconsin this week. I think angry DeBoer is going to steamroll Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Moving on to the next team in Alabama, we got Auburn. Auburn with
Loss.
at home
Crazy.
to California. Peyton Thorne, 4 interceptions with one of the worst QB ratings I've seen for playing the whole game. He had a QB rating of 67, which is pretty bad. Anyway, Peyton Thorne didn't look good. I think Auburn needs to I don't know if they can make a change. I don't know if they have the depth for a change at quarterback, but, I mean, if they do, Auburn, it was just their O-line looked bad and their offense looked really bad. Auburn has one of the best receiving cores in the country, and they threw 4 interceptions, and it was pretty sad for Auburn fans that had a lot of hope. And I saw Auburn also going with probably 8, 9 wins this season, but
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you think, Kerr?
I don't really watch this game, but I kept checking the TV and seeing the score. But to me, it looked like California was owning them the whole game because every time I kept looking at the TV, they were always up. But yeah, it's not good for Auburn at this point.
No, not this point. I'm not sure Auburn plays next week, but I don't know because most teams are starting SEC play. I don't know if they'll have. I don't know. Auburn is going to be weird this year. Like if they play like that for the rest of the year, and they got a lot of problems, maybe bowl eligible problems. So I don't know. Tough scene for Auburn fans, just like last year, kind of. Moving on, UGA steamrolls the Tennessee Tech the Tennessee Tech Eagles, 48-3, I believe. 48-3. Carson Beck played a really good game. We looked really good. Nothing really you can say about that, but Georgia is going in playing the first SEC game next week. Not much to be said about Georgia, the number 1 team in the country. They just look like Georgia. Notre Dame upset, one of the worst upsets I've seen in probably the 2020s, losing to Northern Illinois, an FCS team, at home, 14-16. That was just, it was pathetic. They proved why they're it happens every single year. They'll get ranked really high and then lose to a team not like Northern Illinois. That's pretty sad, honestly.
Very rare. You see that, especially in
Week 2.
You don't ever see upsets like that.
When they start playing real teams, it's gonna be really bad for Notre Dame.
And what was it? What we say? Nebraska and Colorado was game of the week last week.
Nebraska and Colorado was not game of the week last week.
That was
We predicted Colorado and Nebraska. My prediction was correct. Nebraska looked, like I said, they're a legit Big Ten team. They we're getting some outside news from Mr. Foster in the booth. Hank Brown will be making the start for for Auburn tomorrow at quarterback. Hank Brown. Good for him. I mean, I hope he can kind of prove something. Peyton Thorne obviously is not the guy right now. Big news for Auburn. Anyway, back to what I was saying, though. Dylan Raiola is a real threat for the Big Ten. He looks like a really good freshman. Shows resemblance to me of Pat Mahomes. And Nebraska is a legit threat for the Big Ten. I don't know. I think it's interesting to see what they can do. That's my biggest takeaway from not a lot happening in week 2, to be honest. I mean, kind of a boring week, but we should get some better games this week.
Yeah. Well, actually, Boise State almost beat Oregon.
That is true.
37 to 34.
This is their second week in a row of playing a close game with a team they shouldn't have had a close game with.
And then Oklahoma, too, beat Houston by only 4, 16 to 12.
So, it's on me. I like to prepare, but
Yeah.
Oregon has Dan Lanning's got to step up with Oregon. It's really pathetic that they have played 2 paid game teams and have played really close games with them, and they're freaking Oregon like they have.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think Dylan Gabriel, right? Oregon.
Yeah, Dylan.
Yeah,
Gabriel.
he's gonna fall kind of out of that Heisman conversation. Anyway, let's get to key players. Key players for me this week were Dylan Raiola of Nebraska. He looked, for a true freshman, looked really good.
Yeah.
DJ Lagway made the start for Florida, and he looked like a really good quarterback. Even though they only played Samford, he threw for 400 yards in 3 quarters, which is pretty impressive. I thought he looked really good. More key players. I got Peyton Thorne, not Peyton Thorne. Carson Beck's back in there again. Jackson Dart, of course, who is leading the country in everything. He has almost 800 yards of offense, which is just insane. Jalen Milroe's still in there. Kind of ran away with the game for Alabama. What do you think?
Well, if we're talking about key players, or we're talking about
Key players.
key players, all of South Alabama for their
Oh, yeah, shout out
absolute
South Alabama.
blowout over.
Shout out Alumni of the
Northwestern
Week,
State.
too. Will Felton for South Alabama.
Yeah. They have the highest or the most points in a game
In like
33 years.
Yeah, 33 years. Something crazy. Ridiculous. 87 points.
Yeah. And they shortened the fourth quarter too, which is absolutely insane.
That's crazy. Yeah, good for the local team, South Alabama. Not local, but, in the
Sorta.
state.
Yeah.
In the state. Will Felton's over there. Darius Copeland got to play again this week. A little bit. Good to see him playing. It's kind of it. Not a lot of key players. I mean, it's still so early in the season. There's just not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not really a ton going on. I want to say that's kind of it off the top of my head. I mean, not really a lot of great guys. Moving into fraud alert.
Oh, fraud alert.
I'll let you start off this one, Curran.
I have adjusted my thoughts on fraud alert into different tiers. We have out of it, which means you've beaten the allegations of it, potential, fraud, and cooked. So out of it, we have Clemson, I think, winning by, I want to say, 40. They won by 46 over App State. So, they lost to Georgia.
Obviously.
Then they got I don't know who they beat after that, and then they beat App State. So I feel like they're kind of out of that now. Going into potential, we have Oklahoma, Oregon, Penn State, and Arkansas. Penn State, Oregon, and Oklahoma played very close games, and Arkansas lost to Oklahoma State, I want to say.
And I don't know how Arkansas lost that game.
I know.
Mean, this is, bro, how do you blow that lead? I don't get it.
I don't know. Going into actual frauds, Colorado, NC State, Iowa,
Agreed.
and Michigan. Michigan played another close game, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say Michigan's in a rebuilding. I mean,
Yeah.
no, Michigan lost.
No,
Michigan lost to
yeah,
Texas. Yeah,
I thought they played. Okay. Yeah,
No,
that's
Michigan
my
lost
fault.
bad.
Okay, yeah. So Iowa lost to Iowa State. NC State got blown out by Tennessee, and Colorado lost to Nebraska. And in the cook tier, Notre Dame, after losing to Northern Illinois, their whole season's cooked after
as well
that.
as Florida State. They're just a laughing stock of college football.
Yeah, well, yeah, I forgot to put Florida State, but everybody knows.
Yeah,
They're below cooked.
Yeah,
They're below
they're
cooked.
terrible. Yeah, I would say Colorado they're teetering on cooked and
Yeah.
like,
In the middle of potential and fraud, I would probably put Auburn there.
yeah. I mean, we don't know how good Cal is, but kind of considering what I saw, they should have had 5 picks. They're just not good. Moving into all right, let's talk about week 3.
Week 3. Good games.
We got a game today.
Oh, yeah.
Prime time. Arizona versus Kansas State.
A ranked game.
Ranked game. They shouldn't be ranked, depending on the conference they play in, but
Yeah.
it's going to be probably a barn burner. I mean, I'm just not I don't really know any Kansas State fans personally or Arizona fans personally.
Yeah.
I mean,
Me neither.
I didn't know they existed till I looked at. I actually had to Google Kansas State fan.
Ooh. All right. SEC action. South Carolina started it off by beating Kentucky in a blowout. But week 3, they play number 16 LSU at South Carolina. So I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that's going to be a close game.
Who, LSU and South Carolina?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it could. It's just South Carolina. South Carolina did beat Kentucky. I did not touch on that. South Carolina looked good against Kentucky.
Yeah.
Either that or Kentucky looked really bad because I thought
They
Kentucky
probably-
was a good team.
I thought they were supposed to be good.
Speaking of Kentucky, Georgia plays Kentucky this week.
Oh.
Georgia at Levi. What's Kroger Field? Kroger Field is the name. Kroger Field. Shout Kroger. I've actually been to the Kroger in Athens before. It's pretty cool. It's like a Whole Foods, but not whole.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think Georgia's gonna steamroll them.
Yeah.
There's just no we still haven't gotten to good
Oh, hold up. Okay, so
SEC play.
Alabama is going to probably beat Wisconsin, but another game I found, another rivalry game in my opinion. Number 9 Oregon at Oregon State.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good game.
Also, the fact that Oregon's still in the top 10 blows my mind.
I mean, they've been winning though, so
Five.
they were what were they ranked number 5 in the preseason?
Yeah, I mean, Oregon State, yeah, they were ranked number 5 in the preseason.
Yeah.
Oregon State, I mean, it's at Oregon State, but I actually don't know how this game isn't later in the season. I thought that was one of their biggest rivals.
And then Ole Miss finally playing a
Ranked team.
we'll say no, not ranked, an okay team in Wake Forest. But Ole Miss is gonna blow them out still.
Oh, I thought you said Missouri. I'm sorry.
Nah. And then we have the Battle of the Mormons, Utah at Utah State. So that's gonna be uneventful because Utah State lost to USC by 48. A Boston College at Missouri, another ranked game.
Boston College at Missouri. Yep. I think Missouri steamrolls them.
Yeah.
Shout out the SEC, Southeastern Conference.
And then like Notre Dame gonna beat Purdue. Oklahoma's gonna beat Tulane.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
week 2
Just
predictions for player. I mean, nothing really. I hope Florida plays good. I have certain players.
Who's Florida play?
I have no idea. I just. While you're touching on that, I'll start to cover the Heisman watch. So Heisman watch, there's been some fall offs. Jalen Milroe's kind of fallen out of mine a little bit.
Ooh, Florida plays a good game.
Dylan Gabriel has completely fallen out. Who does Florida play?
Texas A&M at Florida.
Texas A&M at Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, that might
That's
be
gonna
my
be a good-
prediction for game of the week.
Really?
Dude, I don't know. I just want to see a good SEC football game, but I
think-
don't think Georgia Kentucky's gonna be close. Do you?
Nah, I feel like Oregon and Oregon State would probably be game of the week though.
That's oh yeah, I guess
Just because
rivalry. I guess
Yeah,
at Oregon
they're gonna-
State.
they're gonna play the best. Hopefully, Oregon State beats Oregon.
Yeah,
That would make it game of the week in my opinion.
I don't know. who Auburn plays this week.
I don't even know if they play.
They play New Mexico. Hopefully, they can upset New Mexico.
Didn't they lose to New Mexico State last year?
They did.
See if New Mexico can keep beating them.
Anyway, Heisman watch. My Heisman watch is Carson Beck at 1.
Yeah.
Not trying to be biased, but I just think once he gets, if we would stat pad him, he'd be behind him, Jackson Dart,
Mm-hmm.
and then behind Jackson Dart is I'll get back to my notes. Go ahead and say yours. I can't think of this guy's name.
At 3, I don't know who I would put at 3. You could put Milrow at 3. Let's see. I don't think I would put Dylan Gabriel even top 5 anymore after
No.
his performance. Maybe Dylan Raiola, like maybe he breaks into top 10.
He's not.
Yeah,
His
like,
stats aren't great enough.
Oh, Quinn Ewers, duh.
Quinn, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers is probably my 3, but Kyle McCord is who I was trying to think of. He was Ohio State's quarterback last year, and I was saying that, I mean, they were acting like that dude should have transferred.
I thought Will Howard was starting over him.
Will Howard plays at Ohio State now. Kyle McCord hit the transfer
Oh.
portal. He's Syracuse quarterback now. He's 3rd in the country in all yards.
Oh, they beat Georgia Tech too.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
So-
Kyle McCord's a legit threat for the Heisman. I mean, but who knows? It's so early. They could be a receiver creep in there.
Yeah.
If Ryan Williams, did he look like the Heisman after week 1? Slow
Mhm.
down a little bit in week 2, but yeah, I mean, so early.
Yeah, too early.
Shador could probably creep in 5 just because
If they win,
if they can get a win.
because wasn't he like top 5 and then they lost like 6 games in
Yeah.
a row?
Something like that.
So yeah, he's gotta see. We gotta see if he's the real deal this season.
Yeah, I agree. But pretty much, you have anything to say? I don't really have anything else to touch on.
No. Just. I don't think I got anything. Just yeah.
All right, I think that wraps up week 3 of the Kaden Curran College Football Show. Tune into current events next week.